We've talked a little bit about Odell Beckham and just how the Browns haven't been really able to incorporate him into the offense. And when you look at what he has done in his career and what he has done in the 8 games at Cleveland, it becomes pretty telling. I mean, it's catches are down, yards per game are down, targets per game are down, touchdowns per game are down. Big plays, if you had it on there, are down. So Odell Beckham's kind of he's a Ferrari. You got to get him out and ride him on the field, and the Browns aren't doing that. He's staying in the garage way too much.
Dave, there's absolutely no excuse for Beckham ranking in the 120s for red zone targets. Yeah, he needs to be getting the ball in the scoring areas. And if it's not a lob to the, why don't you throw lobs to, as you say, the back pylon, so that the only thing that can happen is either your guy catches it or it's incomplete. You avoid the pick. You throw it high enough where only Beckham can jump up and get it if he can. It doesn't make sense to trade for Beckham and then not use him when you need him the most, which is in the scoring area.
And the other thing that doesn't make any sense, they seem to be trying to run these pick plays in the middle of the field, and the NFL has made a concerted effort to call offensive pass interference on pick plays. Yeah. So a big part of what you're trying to do, at least by all appearances, the NFL is trying to stop everybody from doing.
Right, and here's the other thing too, Dave, is you hear, okay, Beckham's double-teamed. He's double-teamed, he's double-teamed, he's double-teamed because he's Odell. All right, find me a great receiver over the years who wasn't able to beat the double team, who didn't get passes thrown to him while he was being double teamed. That's why they're great, because they can beat double teams. They can catch the ball when 2 guys are on them. And when you go back to that now infamous 4th down play in Denver, it was straight man. There was no safety help there. That's a man-on-man situation.
And if you see that, throw it up. He'll find a way. Yeah, I think he's proven pretty conclusively he'll find a way to get it if it's humanly possible.
Exactly.
Baker Mayfield was asked about just the whole 2019 offense and the lack of production and getting Odell Beckham more involved.
We have to take what they're giving us. I think teams have done a pretty good job for the most part of taking away our deep shots. They're trying to make us play patient, and I think that's a good game plan for these guys coming in. They know we have a bunch of playmakers who are going to eliminate the big plays and try and make us play patient for 4 quarters. Yeah, we'd like that, but right now we have to take the short stuff until they're really giving us those shots.
From a statistical standpoint, everyone's analyzing that right now. Now that we're at the half point of the season, the numbers are significantly off from what they were last year, red zone production. Have you been able to just come up with an explanation, if anything, for yourself of what's really different for you this year versus last year, considering you have Odell in the mix and it's the second year of this system?
Yeah. One, I'd say we're doing things a little differently than we had last year, just based on, the pure install that we had. And 2, I think we've been able to point out it's all the little things. When you get down in the red zone, all those windows are that much smaller. Guys close in because they don't have as much space to cover. It's just that much more critical for me to be on time, to have my feet in the right place, to have my eyes eliminating quick, and for our guys to be at the right depth and to move through those progressions. And like I said about the shot plays, teams are going to, play a little bit more conservative in the red zone against us, try and hold us to field goals. So taking the plays that are there, I think is something that I can absolutely improve on going forward, and just, we have to be more precise.
Do you feel you were last week, Odell was really supportive of this and he was telling eventually this is all going to come together for you guys. But he also said it's time to turn it around between the two of you. A, what does that mean to you when you get your back like that? And then 2, what is preventing you guys from putting it together the way I think we all thought it was going to be the case?
No, obviously whenever he says stuff like that, that's great to hear, to have, the support of your teammates is something you always want to have. But to hear it come from that, genuine aspect from him means a lot. And I think, people had this picture-perfect thing that it was going to be sunshine and rainbows, and he was going to have a whole lot of one-on-ones. It's Odell Beckham. He's going to have double coverage. We have to find ways to format things to get him the ball and force feed him early on to where he can make an impact before we can, have the perfect look to give him a shot play. And I think that's something that we learned the hard way. But I think as the weeks have gone on, we're continuing to improve on how to get the ball to him.
Well, I cringed a little bit, Dave, the force feeding. I don't want to hear that. Find me the last time that a team reached great heights by force feeding a wide receiver. Even Jerry Rice, the greatest of all time, you didn't force feed Jerry Rice, but by the end of the game, he was creating winning plays for you. He was such a great team player. I worry when an offense says we've got to force feed somebody. Even as talented as Beckham is, and we just got done saying he needs to see more in the red zone. But you start thinking, I got to force feed him, especially when the field's compressed, and what's that going to lead to?
Oh, yeah.
Batted balls, picks.
Yep.
So that makes me a little nervous when Beckham says that.
They got to design.
When Mayfield says that.
They have to design plays that showcase him and allow him to defeat it. That's what it is. Force feeding. I agree with you. I really don't want to hear that. We got to tell you about